Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of To The Point podcast. Everybody's doing well on this Wednesday evening, and we are approaching Week 9 in the NFL. Kicks off tomorrow night with the just great game between the Jets and Colts. I mean, who can't wait for that one? But I wanted to talk some football, and I wanted to have a good buddy of mine back on. We've been friends for a long time. He's making his introduction on To The Point tonight, but I'd like to welcome in Walker Campbell. Walker, how you doing, man?
Good, I'm good, Noah. Thanks for having me. I'm excited to finally be on
Mm-hmm.
and let's get talking some football.
Yeah, well, Creighton was on last week, and a few other of our buddies. Like, I feel like you felt like I feel like you wanted to get on so you could be better than the rest of them.
I well, you could say that. I've been itching to get on ever since you said you'd want to have me on at some point. I've been just sitting by my phone waiting for the call.
No, perfect. I don't think I've ever asked you this, but I knew you got into football, but when we were, in high school, you weren't a big football guy. I know you got into the NBA. I knew you liked that, and obviously hockey. You playing hockey at a high level. But who's your football team? Do you have one that you root for? Like just one team that you root for?
Absolutely. I am full on Bills Mafia.
Wow.
I'm on
Okay.
the Josh Allen train.
Okay. How do you feel about the Bills in the AFC?
Uh, I think they have a pretty good shot of winning the AFC, especially where Kansas City is playing horrible right now.
Yeah.
It makes me feel very plus the Titans lost Derrick Henry, so I'm feeling pretty good. I like our chances for sure.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you. The AFC is definitely a lot weaker than the NFC because there's some really good
Oh
teams over
yes,
there. But
without a
yeah,
doubt.
Derrick Henry going down. I feel first of all, I feel really bad for Derrick Henry because I like him as a dude, and he's obviously like he was in the MVP discussion. He's just a Mack truck, with legs the size of your arms. But the guy he goes down foot surgery. They bring in Adrian Peterson, who back in the day basically was Derrick Henry, but he's now 36, hasn't taken a snap since last season. Um, the way they play, do you think the Titans can still be a team that can push for the Super Bowl?
No, absolutely not. To me, Derrick Henry really is their offense. I just don't think they really have enough firepower up front. Like they have McNichols
Mm-hmm.
now. He's a good player, but by no means is he Derrick Henry. And I don't really think Peterson will make that much of an impact. And AJ Brown also good, but I don't know. Uh, for me, I think it kind of goes downhill from here because they were really relying on their run game, and he's
Mm-hmm.
just a freight train running through. I mean, an easy 100 yards per game on every given night. So no, I don't like their chances now.
Yeah, I don't love them either. And yeah, they beat your Bills, narrowly, but that was a really good game. I thought that could be like a AFC championship game potentially. I like Baltimore a lot as well, but yeah, I want to see they play the Rams Sunday night, which that's way to start. You got the Rams on the road after these injuries, and they add Von Miller, which we'll get to. But um, yeah, the good thing for Tennessee is that their division is terrible. 1-7
Yes.
Houston, 1-6 Jacksonville. Even the Colts just find ways to lose games. Like somehow they'll lose to the Jets tomorrow night.
Uh,
But I if they could if they go on a run, this really would be a big season for Ryan Tannehill, and really show some people that he's not just a play action quarterback. This guy can be an elite level guy in the NFL.
yeah, I totally agree because I feel like most people think he just rides Henry's coattail, but he's a very athletic quarterback.
Mhm.
And I think he kind of gets looked over because of Henry. But yeah, this is a really good opportunity for him to prove he's kind of in that top tier of quarterbacks in the league.
Yeah, what do you like, the athletic QBs, or are you more of a stationary Tom Brady type? What's your ideal quarterback to watch, or kind of, what's your favorite style?
So I do enjoy quarterbacks who are athletic and will run the ball, like Lamar Jackson.
Mhm.
I love watching him. Even Josh Allen, he's a huge guy, but
Yeah.
very good at running. So guys like, but yeah, but I think the stationary QBs usually are the ones who get the most results. Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, I
Hmm.
mean, speak for themselves.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady can move. I think I can outrun him, and I mean, I'm not the the guy. I can run a little bit now. I'm not Usain Bolt by any means, but I think I can outrun Tom Brady, and he's won 7 Super Bowls. So yeah, you're right. That does speak for itself. But it's crazy to me, and maybe other than gymnastics, and you can weigh in because you do bodybuilding and things like this, but football, you got to be an athletic person to play it. If every other position other than quarterback, you could say. But it's so funny to me that the most important position in all of sports is you can be so unathletic and be that successful.
Yeah, I mean, you must have seen that picture of Mac Jones. I'm not sure when that was, but he just he looks like a your average dad. I mean, not a single bit of muscle on him, but yeah, it's a position you don't have to be like a physical specimen to be, great at, because
Right.
a lot of it has to do with your IQ and your arm, obviously. So
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's just something I've always wondered, because Tom, like you say, even Tom, that combine photo of him with the underwear pulled up too high, and he looks like 200 pounds soaking wet, like just a little string bean. But yeah, those are always funny to look at. Yeah, Tennessee's got the Rams this week on Sunday Night Football. The Rams 7-1, really, really good team before. They got Leonard Floyd and Aaron Donald on defense, Jalen Ramsey, who's always flying around.
oh,
And why not just add Von Miller? He's not Von Miller of 2015 when he won Super Bowl MVP, but he's going to get a lot of single coverage now. He still can play. And I just look at this team, and they are loaded top to bottom.
yeah, they might be the best like offensive defensive combo in the
Mm-hmm.
league to me. I mean, their offense is lethal. Matthew Stafford playing unreal. Glad he got out of Detroit for for his
Yeah.
own sake. Cooper Kupp has been amazing this year. I did not see that coming. I knew he was good, but he's honestly playing as one of the top wide receivers in the game right now. And yeah, their defense is unbelievable. Jalen Ramsey, probably one of the best defenders, if not the best defender.
Mm-hmm.
Von Miller, yeah. Arnold, great. They're a force to be reckoned with, and I know we'll get to this later, but I have them at the top of the NFC right now.
Yeah, I do too. Slightly ahead of the second two, which I had a hard time putting them one, just because Matthew Stafford, I have a hard time trusting, because he just reminds me so much of Detroit Lions and failure and all that. But this would actually be a big win for the Rams, even without Derrick Henry, because Tennessee's is still a good team. But if Tennessee could pull off a major upset, that would throw the NFL world, what a sudden halt that would be if Tennessee got a win on Sunday night.
Oof, yeah, but they pulled off quite a few upsets so
Yeah.
far. I mean, they beat the Bills thanks to Josh Allen face planting. That was embarrassing. They absolutely creamed the Chiefs. I mean, Derrick Henry threw a touchdown pass for crying
Yeah.
out loud. So crazier things have happened, but I just can't see them pulling this one off. Like the Rams are rolling, and I think the morale for the Titans is kind of like, well, we're done.
Right. Yeah. we got to hope that Mike Vrabel can figure out a way to motivate them, because it would be hard. Derrick Henry's their whole team, and
Oh
with him
yeah.
gone, it's definitely tough. Let's talk about Odell Beckham Jr., because this guy is a polarizing cat. Obviously, in New York, he wasn't. We're going to talk about him a ton, but he was in the news today, so I feel like we have to.
Yeah.
He obviously a star in New York, made that one-handed grab, and that kind of defined his career. From there, he was okay, always talented, but had some injuries. Has gone to Cleveland for 2.5 years. He's really been average to a mediocre wide receiver. Him and Baker Mayfield have never had a really great connection. And now his dad, Odell Beckham Sr., is posting videos on YouTube, on social media, of him wide open and Baker either underthrowing or overthrowing him. And today, the coach said basically, yeah, go sit at home. You're basically off the team now. Where do we go from here with this story? Because this is just a mess.
I don't even know. I saw LeBron James send a tweet out to free Odell. I can't. I thought he was going to be dealt at the deadline. Honestly, I figured. I don't know what they were looking to get in return for him. Hopefully, I thought maybe they would try and get someone who would actually kind of click with Baker. I mean, I'm not super high on Baker. I know he's kind of dealing with an injury right now, but yeah, him and Odell never really connected that well on the field. And I thought maybe they'd be looking for a team that was kind of high on Odell, just so they could kind of move on from him. But
right,
I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. I mean, it's kind of like a Ben Simmons situation now. Like, just go, get out of here.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are slowly becoming the Cleveland Browns again, where they were just a joke for a decade plus. And I had so high on the Browns. I thought they could go to the Super Bowl this year. I don't love Baker either, but they have a great running game. The play action, they loaded up on defense, and it's just been a disaster.
Yeah.
And Odell is a diva. He's definitely a prima donna. He doesn't get the ball, he freaks out, and then when he does get the ball, he drops it too often for my liking. But yeah, I get he's making $8.5 million. It was reported that's a big reason why teams didn't want him, because it's a big salary.
Yeah.
But I would have parted with him for a 4th or 5th round pick just to get rid of him, because I think that would have been better for the team, because now you have to deal with this circus and you'll likely have to cut him and you'll lose him for nothing.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. You'd be better off playing off of like Jarvis Landry, who I'm hoping will be good these next few weeks. I was actually pretty high on the Browns too. I even drafted Baker pretty high in my fantasy draft. I traded him as soon as I could though, after I think 3 weeks. So yeah, but no, they're trouble right now, and they have a huge game this weekend.
Yeah, they lost to Pittsburgh, only scored 10 points. Oof. And then they got Cincinnati, who just lost to the Jets. So that, Cincinnati's going to come in primed. I like Baker. I like Joe Burrow more. If I had to pick a guy for the next decade to keep, I would definitely go with Joey B in that for those two.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree with that. The Bengals were rolling. They were kind of a sneaky 5-2. Like nobody saw it coming. That Jets game, that ruined me financially. That is actually the second time the Jets ruined me financially this year, when they upset the Titans and then they upset the Bengals. We'll talk about that later, but yeah, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, they have an unreal connection. He's playing wicked, and I expect the Bengals to be full throttle this weekend.
Yeah, I think they'll be pissed off for sure in Cleveland with all this, and Baker's doing too many commercials. He's on for Progressive and State Farm and whatever else. He has more he has the most commercials on television. Has to. Every night I see a different commercial with Baker in it.
Oh yeah, he has a lot. Does he have any State Farm commercials with Chris Paul yet, though?
Yeah, that's a good question. That's always the
I
litmus
see
test.
Chris Paul in those State Farm commercials too.
Yeah,
Do a collab.
Jake and Chris Paul, and Mahomes is in a few, I think, and Aaron Rodgers always makes an appearance. Like State Farm's dishing out some checks because those guys aren't showing up for free.
Yeah, no, State Farm must be bringing in a lot of money.
Yeah, OBJ, I think he'll be cut in the next couple weeks, or maybe even this week, because you can't trade anybody anymore. So unless you sit him down for the rest of the year, which they could do hypothetically, but I think he'd complain about it the whole time, and that's a lot to deal with over the next, half a season. There's still half a season left.
That's what I mean. I think he might have had the expectation going into the deadline that he was going to be dealt, and he wasn't, and he might just be kind of throwing a hissy fit about it. But I don't get why he wouldn't finish the season out. It's not like they're out of the playoff race by any means. Like that division's pretty close. And I mean, if he isn't acting like a diva, he's at least worth playing because like he's an average wide receiver, but he could pop off for a game or two, important games here and then.
Right. No, agreed. He has all the potential to do it. But yeah, he's clearly taking this the wrong way, and we'll see where this goes. You mentioned the Chiefs off the top. They beat the Giants Monday night, but that was one of the ugliest football games I've seen in a long time. Patrick Mahomes, it was sad because he's just like check down Charlie, like vintage Kirk Cousins from Sunday night. Like, oh, here, Tyreek Hill, run. Like, you're dump it off to the running back. And to me, it's pretty simple for Kansas City. Run the ball, because then the defense won't send 8 DBs back there and you might have some space. But for Kansas City, they like Mahomes doesn't even look like an elite core. He looks like a run of the mill guy right now.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. They definitely need to run the ball more because when they do, they have success. Like everyone anticipates they're going to be throwing it to like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, who, by the way, Travis Kelce was pretty bad in that game. But yeah, I just think they need to run. At least if they get their running game going, like it'll keep teams guessing, which will give Mahomes more opportunity to kind of be who he is, an elite quarterback, and make those highlight real plays. And yeah, that was a gross game. I didn't enjoy a single bit of it. The fact that they almost lost to Daniel Jones and basically the whole Giants wide receiver core was like out.
Yeah.
I don't even know who they had in there at the end of the game. Shepard was out. Barkley
Tony got hurt. Yeah. They basically had 2 tight ends.
Like it was crazy. And the Giants could have won that game too. They had that taunting penalty that could have potentially been the game-winning drive.
That's so Giants. Over the last 3 years, nobody has more losses in the NFL than the New York Giants. And Cleveland had a season where they didn't win a game in there. So that tells you about the Giants' ineptitude lately. Yeah, I think Daniel Jones will be on a new roster next year. I think Dave Gettleman's. I think they're going to clean house there in New York because it's just not working. 2-6. I mean, they look quite pathetic. The Chiefs, like I said, they've been really pedestrian, but they catch a break today where we learn that they're playing Green Bay, who haven't played since last Thursday. But Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID, so he's out. So now there's no Aaron Rodgers. So we're going to see Jordan Love, the guy that Aaron Rodgers hated that they drafted 24th overall. We're going to finally get to see him play. And honestly, I was looking forward to this game already, but I'm still kind of intrigued, even with Rodgers, because I want to see how Jordan Love looks.
Yeah, I see. When we were going to talk about this, I had in my notes, I said Packers are going to, put the Chiefs in their tombstone. They're going to crush them. But I was pretty sad to hear about Aaron Rodgers. I didn't know he was not vaccinated actually. But yeah, this should still be a good game because I think this is a great opportunity for the Chiefs to kind of steal a win, even if he's not there. They might get a little confidence saying, "Hey,
Mm.
like they're 7-1, we just beat them." But yeah, it'll be exciting to see how Love plays. I hope he plays good. Just that'll probably piss off Aaron Rodgers, but
Yeah.
who doesn't like a little drama?
Yeah, he plays his best when he's pissed off. So that would help the Packers long term as well. Like I think Aaron would be like, I kind of want them to lose on Sunday, but if they win and they're 8-1, and you see some articles like Jordan Love looks good in his debut, the future in Green Bay. You know Aaron's gonna come back. He'll talk to Pat McAfee on Tuesday, and then he'll just start throwing TDs all over the yard.
He's gonna say trade him now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That
It's
too.
funny. Aaron Rodgers is probably the pettiest, but also the funniest quarterback. Like I saw that picture of him coming into training camp wearing I think it was an office shirt.
Yeah,
And he had
Kevin.
like the shades on.
Yeah,
Kevin's chilly. Yeah,
yeah,
loved it.
yeah, yeah. No, I liked it too. The long hair. I'm like, who is this guy? Friggin' Hugh Jackman. You know, he looked like a little Hugh Jackman to me. But yeah, the word I agree with you. The Chiefs, if they win this game, hey, a win's a win. You barely beat the Giants. Like you'll take a victory against anybody right now. But if you lose this game, which we
Oh,
saw two backups win last week, Cooper Rush won in Dallas, Mike White. The immortal Mike White won for the Jets in his first start. Like
oh,
it could like I'm not ruling out the Packers winning this game. I'm sure the Chiefs will be favored now at home without Aaron Rodgers, but I'm not sure what the line is. But I take a peek at that game and seeing what they're looking to pay.
I would for sure too. I haven't checked it yet, but that could be a good game to bet on. Uh, yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. Um, no, I'm very excited for it. I I just don't know. Like the Packers were on a roll. Like they seemed kind of unstoppable, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Aaron Rodgers was that the force carrying the team on his back. After that horrendous loss to the Saints week 1,
Yeah. Oof.
but I just think with him out, I don't think they'll get it done against the Chiefs. The Chiefs are bound to have a good game here at some point. I mean, they beat Washington. That's not that impressive, but uh,
Right. Yeah, the
yeah, I think
Chiefs are
they're
only
bound to have a
3-point
good one.
favorites
Really?
against a backup against a rookie
Ooh.
QB. Oh, jerk. Yeah, that's not much respect. Like that, a backup quarterback, you're at home and it's only a 3. Yeah, wow. Maybe that'll get bet up as the week goes on, but even if it does, I'd be more intrigued to take it to cover because who knows with the Green Bay, and because Green Bay's got nothing to lose in this game. Jordan Love hopefully can play well.
Oh,
That'll boost the confidence of Matt LaFleur in the front office. Aaron Rodgers throws a hissy fit. But speaking of the NFC, you mentioned that you had the Rams number 1. Who is your
yes.
second best team in the NFC for you?
So this was tough. I think I changed my rankings probably 50 times in one night. I could not decide. So I ended up with the Rams at 1, and I had the Packers at 2.
Okay.
Now, depending how long Aaron Rodgers is out, that might change. But they've been hot and they've been great. Rodgers has been really good. Devontae Adams has been really good this season too. They just come off a big win against the Cardinals, so I felt like they were on a roll, and yeah, that's why I have them at 2.
Yeah, I should like the Packers more because everything you just said is absolutely true. They're 7-1. They beat the Cardinals. That's a good That's a good win. I mean, obviously they lost to the Saints week 1, but that was an aberration. And the Saints are actually a pretty good team, and they've beaten the Bucs and the Packers this year, who have a combined 3 losses.
Yes.
So they're the legend killers. They're the Randy Orton of the NFL. Um,
Yeah.
I I kept the Bucks for me at number 2, and I should like the Packers more. I don't know why. I just don't trust them for some. I love Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, but I don't see a target that he trusts to be his number 2. Like Valdez-Scantling's never there. Lazard, I don't
Yeah,
think Tanyan tore his ACL. That's a big loss for the team. And the guy he probably trusts the most behind Devontae Adams is Aaron Jones, and he's his running back.
that is true. They did just pick up Cobb though, and I think that was a pretty good
Yeah.
pickup. I think Rogers kind of trusts him.
Mhm.
So whenever Rogers is back, I think you'll see a higher increase in his touches.
That could very well be true. Yeah, I put the Bucks for a couple of reasons. The number one reason, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And their defense worries me because it's getting worse and worse, and it's hurt. But I'm banking on Murphy Bunting coming back and Carlton Davis, so that they'll come back healthy at the corner position. But when it comes to offense, I mean, Brady, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk, if he can take some CBD and maybe his ribs will be a little bit better. But offensively, they're loaded, and the Saints just have their number. The Saints beat them twice last year in the regular season, and they ultimately beat them in the playoffs and won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, horrible injury to Jameis Winston.
Yeah, that
That
was
didn't look,
ugly.
but I think he's fine. Saw him partying in the locker room afterwards, doing a little dance for us. So, but yeah, I actually have the Bucks at 4 right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that this was hard. I think any order you have these 5 teams, which I'm sure are the same for everyone. I feel like they could be in any order, and it's not really a bad
Right.
list. So I do
Agreed.
have the Bucks at 4. A little bit due to their loss against the Saints because Jameis got hurt. So and Tom Brady, he didn't have his best game, I
No,
guess,
his
but
worst game of the year for sure.
but yeah, the defense is concerning. I do assume those guys will be back though, and Gronk, I don't know. I I'm kind of almost ready to write him off
Yeah,
this
I'm a little worried about
this
him.
year.
He got hit hard against the Rams, and he
Oh
hasn't come
yeah,
back since. And he's taken a lot of punishment in his career. He's got, I think, 4 back surgeries, and he's had a punctured lung, and he's been through a lot. So I worry about him coming back and being even half of what he was last year.
yeah, and he was off to a red hot start this year
Yeah.
too, which is the worst thing. Yeah, so that is a huge loss for him. Brady trusts him in that red zone big time. So anyway, I have them at 4. My number 3 team, I have the Cardinals,
Oh wow. Okay.
Arizona Cardinals. I know they just lost to Green Bay. Uh, Murray kind of went down. So did JJ Watt,
Mhm.
which hurt them big time. I thought they really got exposed once he was out.
Yeah, they couldn't stop the run whatsoever.
No, they couldn't stop it at all. But I just think uh I don't know. I'm just a little high on them right now. I think I was tempted to put them at 2, but I'm not fully trusting them there. I'm not fully there yet.
Mhm.
I think their offense is wicked. I just think they have so many weapons. With Kyler Murray, unbelievable.
Yeah.
DeAndre Hopkins,
Mhm.
Christian Kirk playing
AJ,
really good.
AJ Green and Zach Ertz.
Yes, exactly. They have a lot of weapons on offense. So uh, hopefully JJ Watt's fine because he's a huge anchor for their defense. They just added Zach Ertz too, which I think was a
Mhm.
good addition. So I have no questions about their offense whatsoever.
Yeah.
But it's kind of the defense for me that worries me a little bit.
Yeah, as we're talking this through, I mean, it is so close because the Cardinals were undefeated until last week, and they lost to Green Bay. That's not a bad loss, and they beat Tennessee prior. They beat the Rams, so they've
Yeah.
been impressive. I actually had them 5th, And again, it's splitting hairs here because all these teams, I agree with you. They're all really good. The Cardinals have the 49ers this weekend. That's their second matchup. I think that's a big game for them to come back and see how they play because, they're better than the 49ers on paper for sure. But these divisional games, just stuff happens. Like Buffalo, your Bills were tied with Miami at halftime. Like if they were playing any other team, it wouldn't be that way. But you get in these divisional games, there's a lot of pride. Like that just seems to happen. So I'm interested. I'm going to watch a lot of that game to see how they play in that one. But I'm not fully bought in. I'm not like, ESPN where I have to talk about this team, all day, every day.
Oh
Kiss
my
their
God.
ass. But the Cowboys are a good team. I can't deny it. They win a game
Yes.
with Cooper Rush at quarterback, who was 1 for 3 for 2 yards in his career prior to this start. But really, it's their defense. Randy Gregory, who's battled his demons when it comes to substance abuse, is playing out of his mind. I mean, Trayvon Diggs is a front runner for Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh yeah.
Micah Parsons is all over the field. And then when they are back, they got a great two-headed monster at running back. They got an elite quarterback with Dak Prescott, and they got 2 elite receivers. Like this team just doesn't seem to have a weakness.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm pretty close to being all in on them. The only thing for me was I think out of all these 5 teams, they kind of had maybe
Softest schedule.
I think maybe the softest schedule.
Yeah.
And they had a couple games where I was like, that game against the Patriots.
Yeah.
I guess you could consider last week, but then again, they didn't have Dak Prescott, who's been playing very well this year. Yeah, they've been shockingly good.
Mm-hmm.
I was full on ready to hate on all the Cowboy fans this year, just because I can't stand hearing about them every single damn day. But no, I can't deny how well they're playing right now, and I think their schedule is fairly decent for the rest of the way.
Yeah, they got Denver this
So,
week, Atlanta. Like they got a pretty decent. Yeah, they got it, and they got their division stinks. They still got the Giants. They got the Eagles again. The Washington football team. I mean, those are like 4 or 5 wins locks right there. So
some teams would kill to be in that division. Jeez.
Oh, I think a lot of teams would especially this year.
Just
But
terrible.
either that division or be in the AFC South because that it's just terrible football.
No, you're right about that.
You said you hate the Cowboys fans. Do you have a podcast or a show that you listen to like kind of every day or every other day about football or anything else? I've never talked to you about this.
So basically, I watch 2 shows pretty steady. I watch Undisputed with Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, and I watch First Things First today with Nick Wright, Chris Broussard, and Kevin Wild. I've watched First Take a bit. I haven't watched it as much since they had the change with Stephen A. and Max Kellerman, but I gotta tell you, I love Undisputed. I love listening to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless yell at each other.
I listen to it every day too.
I love Shannon Sharp so much. I think he's like my favorite personality in the sports media right now. And yeah, I have to hear Skip Bayless hype up his Cowboys every week.
Yeah.
He starts the show every time. How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, every Monday, pounds the desk. Yeah.
But you know what? I am a little happy for them, I guess. They're finally relevant and good.
Yeah.
So take it while they can take it while they can. So
yeah, no, I like Undisputed. I'm not a big I never could get into First Take. So Stephen A is too, I don't know, he's too ESPN for me. Like he's such a it's funny, he's kind of a kiss ass. But I like that. I like those 2 shows as well. I don't Nick Wright can get on your nerves sometimes because he just kisses
my God.
He kisses LeBron's ass like more than anybody on planet Earth. But
he does.
He loves him. Like I think he wants to be in like a clutch client because he just does not shut up about LeBron. But Yeah, no, FS1's got some good personalities, especially when it comes to football. But yeah, I was just interested to see what you listen to, because I listen Undisputed every day too. I download that pod every afternoon.
Oh, I think it's the best by far, without a doubt. Yeah, I think Nick Wright wants to be in LeBron's inner circle,
Yeah, he
or
definitely does.
wants some sort of job with Clutch Sports or something. I don't know. And same thing with the Chiefs. He's so gung
Oh,
ho on the Chiefs. I watch him do his NFL tiers every Tuesday, and they're just it's hard. It's a little hard to watch sometimes, but he always has the Chiefs way too high. Like
yeah, I
they're
know. They,
four and
they, they,
four.
yeah, they scrape out a win against the Giants, and whoa, we're back. Oh, okay.
We're back. We're
Yeah.
back.
Way to go.
Contenders.
Yeah, pretenders. Um, you mentioned you don't like the Cowboys fans that much. What about the Patriots fans? 'Cause that's basically all that, in our area, that's basically people that don't even watch football root for the Patriots.
Yeah, fans are a little annoying. I don't think it's been as bad since Tom Brady's left.
Mm,
I actually really like watching the Patriots play.
hmm.
I think Mac Jones is a very good quarterback,
I agree.
and I think they've had some very close games against some very good teams, like just barely losing. So I think they have a bright future. But I don't think I personally know any Patriots fans.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I do. Maybe I'm
Hmm.
not talking to enough people, but
Yeah. Yeah, maybe you're just not asking them, because everybody I know is a Patriots fan. So that's like they come out of the woodwork and like, oh, I root for the Patriots. Oh, really? Yeah. Who's their quarterback?
Patriots
Tom
or Tom
Brady.
Brady. Yeah.
No, he's not there anymore. He's not. He's somewhere else.
You know what? Actually, I think the owner of the gym I go to, I think he's a Patriots fan, but I think he's also a Buccaneers fan now. This is
See,
Tom Brady.
you can't do that. That I hate that. Like you can't.
Yeah,
Like Tom Brady's gonna be retired eventually. Like the Bucks when he's with Giselle on a yacht. Like what's up with that?
I don't. A lot of people are like that. They just follow one person. Kind of. I feel like a lot of people do that with LeBron James too. Like they're
True. Yeah. Shannon, Nick Wright. Yeah. Yeah.
like, come on, who is actually a Cleveland Cavaliers fan? Like
Yeah.
who, if you're not from Cleveland, I doubt you're actually a fan.
Yeah. Dan Gilbert doesn't even like the Cleveland Cavaliers, and he owns the team. So,
Yeah.
um, um, I'm surprised. I know you're a big Cavs fan, that you're not a fan of the Washington football team.
Well, I started watching football heavily last year. Actually, was the first year I watched
Mhm.
it heavily, and just watching them play, I said, "There's no way I can cheer for these guys." I'll put they can be my top tier of teams I wouldn't mind winning,
Winning.
but
Yeah.
what even is there to like about them? Like
Nothing. No.
Taylor Heineke, I
Mm.
don't know.
Yeah, Taylor, don't call me Tyler Heineke. Their owner is a piece of shit. Yeah, the only thing you can really like is Ron Rivera, their head coach, after battling through cancer
Yes,
and all. But other than that, they have nothing that is likable about them.
I
Their
don't. They have.
jerseys suck. The colors stink. I actually like their name. I don't think they should change it. I don't want the Renegades or the
No, say
Brigade. I want it the Washington football team. I like that.
I like it too. Actually, I'm glad you said that. I thought I might have been the only one who actually wanted to stay that way. It's it's just simple, cut right to the chase. We are the Washington football team, and
Right.
we suck.
Yeah, yeah. We
So
we
that's
we stink, but we own it. We're the football team. Um, Ravens are back on the field. They're coming off a bye this week. They're playing Kirk B. Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings, who just laid an egg against the Cowboys. In the AFC, said you like the Bills. Tennessee has dropped with that injury. Ravens right behind the Bills for you when it comes to like a power ranking?
Yeah, they're my 1-2. I don't since the Titans lost Henry, I kind of put them down quite a bit. So I think those two teams are like way up here. Everyone else down here. Like
Yeah.
I couldn't even guess who's gonna make the playoffs out of that division. It's just a log jam of teams playing poorly.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know who's gonna make it out of there either, but I I like the Steelers. I don't think they're that good because Big Ben
Oh
can't throw the ball down the field. Najee Harris is gonna have the most touches by running back in a single season ever if this continues because he just
yes.
check down, check down, check down. But and the Browns, we've talked, about their issues. You got Cincinnati just lost. I think if Cincinnati, it'd be big if they can win this week because they'd be 6-3 after 9 games. That's a really good start to a season where
Yeah.
this team had little to no expectations coming in.
Yeah. So I think this is a huge game for them, just in the terms of like they just lost to the backup quarterback for the New York Jets, who I can't believe he threw for over 400 yards.
Most yards of the
But yeah,
week.
I could Mike White, who would have thought? But yeah, this is a huge game for them. Just I think a lot of people are kind of doubting them right now, saying, "Well, you guys are kind of pretenders."
Mhm.
So I think if this would be a big win for them, just to kind of reassure everyone that they can actually contend in the division.
Yeah, totally agree. Just to see if they can bounce back. And yeah, I like the Ravens a lot. Like you said, Lamar Jackson's one of the funnest players to watch for you. He's the same for me. I mean, he is just so electric. When he gets the ball in his hands, he's always just running around. Nobody can catch him. And people thought he would never make it in the NFL, which is, laughable now. But yeah,
Yeah,
he's great. The Raiders, they've been through a lot this year. And in that NFC West, where you got the Chiefs who are 4-4, Denver's 4-4, Chargers have come back down to earth. They lost to the Patriots last week. John Gruden gets let go because of racial. I mean, anything you sexist. I mean, he did in those tweets. Everything you could possibly do, he did. Then
yeah.
yesterday, I don't know if you saw this, but Henry Ruggs III, the receiver, got into a got a DUI, but it resulted in a woman dying. Unfortunately, just came out. He was driving 156 miles per hour. That is fast. I don't have to make a
All
stupid
that's
point. That's
very
flying,
fast.
and they cut him. So they had to get rid of their coach. A first round pick is cut. I mean, if this team can somehow manage to find themselves in a playoff spot, win a division, this would be one of the great seasons in Raider history.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, what a tragedy for that family involved. Yeah. Wait. I mean, basically just ruined his career.
Career's over,
I'm not
yeah.
sure that like 150, say 155, 56
156
miles per
miles an
hour.
hour. Yeah.
That's like 200 and I think 50 kilometers an hour in that range. I'm not exactly sure. So that's very fast. He's very lucky to even come out of that.
Yeah. Be alive and be fine.
Uh, but yeah, no, I think they did the right thing in letting him go. I mean, he possibly gonna go to jail for
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I think the season in terms of whether they make the playoffs or not really falls in the hands of Derek Carr, who's he's been pretty good this year
Yeah.
for the most part. So I think if he can find a way, be that good leader that they need in this time. I know they're probably all in distraught. It's been a pretty rough season in those terms, but I think they can pull it off, possibly like a wild card spot. But yeah, if they could pull it off, it'd be probably one of the best stories in the league for the year.
Absolutely. I mean, just to find a way to make the playoffs after all the terrible things that have happened to this team and to overcome it. And for, like you said, Derek Carr, maybe even to get into the MVP discussion if he continues to play the way he is. Do you bet on a lot of games?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. Oh,
So what's your general go-to when it comes to gambling? What's your hints, or what do you usually go with?
oof. It's tough. I'm not sure what I am on the year. I do a lot of money lines,
Okay.
or like the spreads. I don't do too many player props. I'm not that advanced yet. I'll do player props in like NBA or NHL, but in terms of football, usually I'll go just money line. It it's tough. Usually I go for I'll kind of make a parlay of whether
Mhm.
it's 3 to 6 games, and usually I'll take a lot of like heavy favorites, and I try to throw in maybe one underdog
Right.
or a team that I think will most likely win that has a good payout. Um, you know, uh, so yeah, it's tough. I've lost quite a bit this year. Teams have been screwing me over time and time again.
The Jets.
The Jets, the Jets,
Yeah.
this the Saints
Mm.
twice. So yeah, it's been a rough year for money line so far.
And any, I'll read out
Hoping
some
to get back
spread.
on track.
I'll read out some spreads. Any games that interest you this week? Jets at Colts tomorrow night, Thursday night football. Colts are 10.5 point favorites.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, I think given the performance last weekend from Mike
Mm.
White, I feel like taking that spread could be a good play.
Take
I
the
mean, they
Jets to
just beat
cover.
the Jets to cover. I mean, 10.5, that's usually what they give to the Texans most games. And they're awful.
Yeah.
Not to say the Jets aren't or awful. They are awful, but I think given the performance of Mike White, if he can follow up with
Mhm.
a performance, even 3/4 of that, I think they'll be able to. And I mean, the Colts aren't by any means a powerhouse team,
No,
so
no.
I think that'd be a good cover for sure.
Yeah, Texans at Dolphins. Dolphins are 7 point favorites, and they're both 1-7. That tells you how bad Houston is. Um,
Oof.
Patriots 3 point favorites at the Panthers.
Yeah, uh I think the Patriots will win by more than that. I think
Yeah,
they've
I
been
did
playing
too.
really good, and the
Yeah.
Panthers, I mean, without McCaffrey, they're pretty much
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. 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 They beat Atlanta, but that's not saying much.
They beat 60-year-old Matt Ryan, so
Yeah, he's got no hand now after it's all bloody and beat up.
I saw that.
That poor guy. Your Bills are at the Jags. How many points do you think they're favored by?
I'd say at least 10.5. At
14.
least. Oh, well, I just don't know about the Bills. Like they're either gonna blow them out,
Yeah.
they're gonna beat them by like 5 points. Like they beat the Dolphins, what was it, 35-0,
Yeah.
and then a semi close game last weekend. It's hard. I can't tell with them. They're so hard to predict.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't touch that game.
That's a big margin.
Falcons at Saints. Saints 5.5 point favorite. I'd probably take the Saints.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, big win off the Bucks. 5.5 points. That's less than a touchdown. So yeah, I would take that too.
Uh, Titans at Rams. Wait, how much do you think the Rams are favored by?
Uh, 7.5.
Close, 6.5. So you're right there.
Six and
Yeah.
a half.
Yeah, they clearly don't think the Titans are gonna have a quick bounce back.
I don't think they will either. I would probably. I don't know if I take the spread. I would definitely take the Rams money line, but
Mhm.
yeah, I I just don't know how good their offense will be without Henry.
Yeah, it'd be good to see a game before you start betting on the Titans again, just to see what they look like without Derrick Henry and how they employ their offense. So that's basically week 9. I did want to ask you about the NBA early start to the season. Your Wizards are 5-2. They got the Raptors. They got the Raptors tonight. Who's some of your favorite teams to watch, and kind of your favorites, or some of your favorites to win the title this year in the NBA?
Yeah. So I mean, I love watching. I like watching the Lakers, Nets, Bucks, obviously. Love watching Golden State if I'm ever up late enough to watch a game. Feels like their games are at 2 in the morning. Curry's just awesome to watch. Yeah, my Wizards are not doing too bad. Just shocking. I was pissed we got Kyle Kuzma, but he's been playing very well actually,
Yeah, he has.
which is surprising. But uh yeah, I honestly have no idea who to pick as a favorite right now because it seems like all the best teams have kind of been off to a slow start.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the Celtics are in a rut. You got the Nets haven't really found themselves yet. The Lakers, they've beaten really bad teams. I mean, they got Houston, OKC. Like they've got the easiest schedule on the map to start the
I
season.
know.
Yeah, the 2 G League teams. I think they're playing OKC again tomorrow.
Oh,
So
who made that schedule? I want to know that.
LeBron,
LeBron.
Nick Wright.
They said, here, we'll give you the schedule.
Yeah, Nick Wright drew that one up. He drew up the schedule to start. Yeah, no, even the Raptors have had a good start. They're 5-3. Scotty Barnes looks really
Yeah.
good. And
Oh, yeah.
they look better off the hop than I thought they'd be this season.
Yeah, they look really good. Scotty Barnes, definitely the front runner as of now for rookie of the year, I would say. Another team who's been kind of impressive to me is the Charlotte Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
LaMelo Ball, been unreal.
He's fun to watch.
Mikal
Bridges.
Yes, he's been electric. So yeah, they've been kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, and the Bulls as well. 6-1.
The Bulls. Mar DeRozan, huge game the other night, 37 points, I believe.
Yeah.
I like their team. I think a lot of people didn't really buy into them preseason, but
Right.
I like their lineup with DeRozan, Levine. He's awesome. They got Caruso. I don't know why the Lakers let him go. That was
They
a
had to
huge
get Westbrook.
mistake. I still hate that move. I don't
get it either.
I just don't get it. It didn't fill their needs at all.
They
Like
couldn't
should have just
shoot,
went out.
and they get a guy that can't shoot.
Literally, they got the worst 3-point shooter in the league.
Yeah.
Worst shooter. Like they should have went out and got Buddy Hield.
Made way more sense. And I don't get it. Like that's so against LeBron because he loves shooters because he knows he's not the greatest shooter in the world. But
he's a great passer. He probably finds guys better than anyone.
Yeah. No, we'll see the NBA season off to a start. We get the NHL and obviously the NFL heading into week 9. But Walker, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's a lot of fun chalking up again. We'll have to do it again real soon, but thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Yes, thank you for having me, man. Anytime. I'll be eager to come back, whatever sport it may be. I'll be ready. Yeah, thanks for having me, Noah. It's awesome to finally get on.
Awesome. Well, thank you again to Walker. Thanks everybody for listening. I'll be back soon to chalk it up with you all about all the craziness in the world of sports. Until then, take care and we'll talk soon.